It is the moment we've all been waiting for. The moment when Donald Trump would actually call out Vivek Ramaswamy, because Vivek Ramaswamy is pulling voters from Donald Trump as it pertains to the caucus and the primaries. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here on the ground in Iowa. It is a blistering minus 13 right now where we are, and the caucus is tonight. Donald Trump is the massive favorite. Nikki Haley is, depending on the polls, in second place, but the prediction markets have her in fourth place. Ron DeSantis, of course, in the polls is in third, and Vivek is in fourth. And I find this one truly fascinating. The battle has erupted online. All of the diehard Trump supporters are saying, "We knew it, Vivek the snake." And all of these Elon shills, all of a sudden, are in the bag for Vivek Ramaswamy. And why is it? A conspiracy. That's the only option. I'm exaggerating. No, a lot of Trump supporters are saying it is interesting that all of a sudden there's a bunch of people just showing up for Vivek Ramaswamy, having him on all these shows, and they think it seems coordinated. Ladies and gentlemen, I must confess the truth to all of you. It is coordinated. That's right. The Ramaswamy campaign reached out to a ton of individuals and coordinated appearances and interviews, and that's about the extent of it. Now, there may be some people who are getting paid. I think that's very, very likely. I think it's also very likely several influencers are paid by Ron DeSantis' campaign. I do believe it is extremely unlikely, however, that the Donald Trump campaign is paying a bunch of these influencers in the same way. I think Donald Trump, of course, is just hoping on loyalty and the fact that he has the massive base. I do not believe, for the most part, that the people you are seeing who are, in some ways, I don't even think that they're overtly supporting Vivek, but they kind of are by doing these shows and praising him. I don't think they're getting paid. I don't think it's coordinated. I don't think it's planned. And I will say this. Look, before we even get started, Donald Trump has my vote. In the primaries, in the caucus, in the general, Trump is it. Vivek is great. I like the guy. He's a smart guy. And I think that for those that oppose wokeness and corruption and believe in American values, you got to have a bench. And who's the bench? This is what we talked about throughout the past week. We cannot, I think it's a mistake right now if the Trump team, the Trump people go too hard on Vivek Ramaswamy, accusing him of being World Economic Forum shill, globalist, etc. People are saying if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. And I'm like, guys, I think Trump should win. I'm going to break down exactly why Trump is the guy for the job and why, as much as I do like Vivek, he has not earned my vote right now, and I'm not sure that he can. I've said before I'd consider voting for him in the primary. I think I said before I would vote for him, or I wanted to vote for him, but there's a lot going on right now, and I can break down, and there have been people tweeting me like, "Tim, give me one good reason why Trump is better than Vivek," blah, blah. I can give you a lot of good reasons. I will. Foreign policy, first term was great. Even Vivek says these things. Vivek doesn't have that level of support, experience. But we'll get into this in much more detail. But I just want to say this right now to start off the bat. I don't know if anybody's getting paid by his campaign or whatever. I can tell you that we haven't gotten anything from him. He has not paid us and actually made that explicitly clear. When we said we wanted to come out, the original plan we had was to do one show this Monday for the caucus. And we've got Trump campaign people, big Trump supporters coming on. And it'll be interesting because Vivek is going to be joining us as well. And I'm interested to see what happens I don't know if this, like the way we have this show set up tonight for Timcast IRL is going to be like rotating panel of guests. And I don't know the exact schedule, but it'll be interesting to say the least. Now, I made it explicitly clear when we were talking with Vivek's team, I said we wanted to do, we wanted him on the show. And so when we were planning this counter programming to CNN, I was like, we will accept nothing from your campaign. We are doing the show. I don't play those games. I've had politicians ask me for money, and I said, look, man, when it comes to a race, if Trump wants to come on the show, we'll have him on the show. Don't ask me for money. It's not going to happen. I've made political donations in the past. I'm not doing that now. Maybe, but probably not. Your best opportunity is to come, talk to us, answer questions, and make your pitch to the American people. That's it, because I'm not here to play that game. But I can tell you this right now. First and foremost, as we get going, it is caucus day. It is a big deal. Donald Trump is pulling out he's going after Vivek. Vivek's playing it very intelligently, and I'm a vote for Trump. I think Vivek is right about a lot of things, and I think he's between a rock and a hard place, and I think we need Plan B. And it's a tough spot. It really is. There's a fear that if people go out and caucus for Vivek, it could pull votes from Donald Trump. But I got to be honest, considering Vivek is polling so low, I think everybody needs to kind of chill a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what I think Donald Trump should have said. But let's do this first. Let's read the news. Donald Trump turns on Vivek Ramaswamy. Don't get duped. This is from VanityFair.com. They report with Iowa caucus goers getting ready to head to the polls. On Monday, former President Donald Trump lashed out for the very first time at biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. Quote, "A vote for Vivek is a vote for the other side. Don't get duped by this," Trump wrote on Truth Social Saturday evening, adding that Ramaswamy, who has made a clear play for Trump's base, is not MAGA. I don't know that I disagree with that. He's not MAGA. I think that's absolutely correct. He's America first. There's a massive overlap, but MAGA is the Trump loyal base. I got to tell you, loyalty means everything. I mean, I talk about Hachiko the dog all the time, and y'all know it. A story about a dog who waited 10 years. If you don't know the story, he waited 10 years at a train station. This is a bit of a simplification. For his best friend, a Japanese professor who had died while at teaching. And so Hachiko did not know what happened to his friend and refused to leave, hoping one day he would return. That is inspirational. That is loyalty, and that matters. It really does. So if you want to talk about politics, campaigning, strategy, and all that stuff, I got to tell you, I think those who watch shows like this, we're people of honor. And honor plays a big role. And while some may say, yeah, Tim, but strategy is more important. Victory is more important. Well, those things are very, very important. But what are we if we sacrifice honor for victory? In that regard, I can tell you right off the bat, it may seem emotional, and that's fair because human is largely an emotional experience, that we must be logical. I say outright, listen, I'm not interested in sacrificing our integrity and our honor for victory. We have to maintain both, because this applies to the same thing with violent suppression and authoritarianism. There are a lot of people that argued we must use the tactics of cancel culture in the left. And, I'll pause halfway and say, within a certain degree, we want to understand we're in a conflict. But I always tell people this: if you accept the tactics of evil because you think you'll win in the end by using these tactics, all you've done is hand the victory to them. If we say today that the far left is corrupt, the woke people are evil, but we got to win this, so we're going to employ the same strategies and destructive tactics, all you've done is created a world of those destructive tactics. If you think I'm going to imprison my political opponents because it'll save this country and freedom, like what they're doing to Trump, then what does the world become? The country you build becomes the evil you claimed you were fighting against. And that being said, first and foremost, the most difficult thing to me, if you ever came to me and said, you got to vote for Vivek because, Trump's too old, blah, blah, I'm going to be like, you're not going to get me to back down off of being loyal to a guy who was brutally attacked, who lost his net worth, who is now facing hundreds of years in prison. I'm sorry, guys got to win. Donald Trump has to win. There's a component of strategy. There's a component of what is right for this country, and those things are way, way up there. And then there is, who are we as people, and what are we willing to accept? Vivek has made his arguments about why you should vote for him in the caucus. Even though someone asked on the town hall we did, it makes it seem like you're saying what's happening to Trump is okay. Vivek's position is it's not okay, and he fears that if they do stop Trump, because they will stop at nothing, then what ends up happening is you get Nikki Haley versus Ron DeSantis, and there is no Trump and there is no Vivek. I think Vivek is right. And that's why I'm happy to say excellent plan B. And maybe not even for 2024, maybe 2028. But come on, let's be logical alongside with our honor. Okay, we don't have to abandon our strategy just because we want to support Donald Trump for everything he's been through and everything he's done for this country. And there are people, I love this. The DeSantis people are losing their minds like, it's a cult, it's a MAGA cult. I'm like, dude, I can rag on Trump all day and night. But I can tell you this. No new wars in his term meant so much to me. Setting the timeline for withdrawal, the Abraham Accords, negotiating with North Korea. Have a nice day. Like, you're not arguing me off those points. You say Vivek comes in, and he's got great campaign strategy. He's a smart guy. He's playing it well. You are correct. And I'll give you the biggest reason why people are like, tell me one good... I had someone tweet at me. I love this bait tweet. Tell me one good reason why I should vote for Trump over Vivek and why Trump is better. Are you kidding? It's a really easy point to be made. Donald Trump was in the White House for 4 years already. He has more experience dealing with these people than Vivek does. Look, I like everything Vivek has to say. Almost everything. He's a very smart guy. And I think it's great that we're building a bench and we have so many prominent individuals who can potentially move forward in 2028 and beyond. I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. But Donald Trump does have 4 years of experience in the White House. He has a track record proven now as a politician. I mean, people like to say he's not a politician. Well, he did. He went in, he did his job, he did a really good job. Did he do a perfect job? That's absurd. Are there things to criticize him for? 100% absolutely. And with respect to all my Libertarian Party friends who want to criticize Donald Trump, yeah, I completely agree. But I'm sorry, man. Donald Trump has been, for the first time in my life, a net positive president. When I'm a kid looking at Bill Clinton, you've got war, conflict. Don't get me wrong, you had a good economy. Scandal, conflict, crisis. Not a fan. Not a fan of the neoliberal expansion of, there's a lot of stuff that's happened from Clinton to Bush to Obama. It's expansion of war. It's these free trade agreements that have resulted in the collapse of our labor force. It's these failed immigration policies. And then Donald Trump comes in. The economy starts doing well. He starts no new wars. He starts ending wars. And the machine, the apparatus, lies. They lie to us, the American people. They lie to Trump to keep these wars going. Vivek steps up and says, I got a big plan. I'm like, that's really great. That's really great. We'll see how it goes. Right now, what we're seeing is this response. We have this response from Vivek. He says, Donald Trump's attack is bad campaign advice. He's correct. I know a lot of Trump supporters get mad, but I'm going to tell you right now. I see these tweets. Let me jump to these tweets. Let me see what we have pulled up. I think I have, where's this? Here we go. I have a tweet here from Cat Turd. Cat Turd, of course, for those that aren't familiar, you may be saying, what's Cat Turd? A very prominent Trump-supporting Twitter personality tweeted, have you noticed so many of Elon's teachers' pets suddenly broke for Vivek all at the same time? Coincidence? LOL, nope. So obvious. Okay. Well, let me tell you guys. I'm a big fan of Elon. A lot of people are. Vivek is smart. It is not a coincidence. And it's not even a conspiracy. Cat Turd, let me tell you. Vivek opened his campaign up at the very last, not even necessarily at the last minute, but he went full steam ahead. They're hitting up as many podcasters and influencers trying to go on shows, and everyone's excited to talk to Vivek. Vivek's got millions of followers. He's generated massive attention. He is brilliant at the PR game, and people are like, here's an opportunity to talk to a guy that people want to hear from. Donald Trump has not done the same thing. The reason why so many of Elon's quote-unquote teacher's pets suddenly broke for Vivek is that Vivek offered them the opportunity to talk and do interviews. And for all of these people, that's exactly what we do. Now, we had Don Jr. on Timcast IRL. I got to be honest. It's very interesting because I'm like, when we have Donald Trump Jr. on, and I mean this with all due respect to Don Jr. because he's such a rad dude. And I'll say this too for the people who don't listen to, have never heard him speak or don't know him. If you met Don Jr. at a baseball game and you were hanging out, you'd have no idea the dude was the son of a billionaire who grew up as this like New York royalty celebrity, golden toilet family kind of thing. He really does come off just like regular old suburban dude you might have met. And I respect that tremendously. But I got to tell you, I'm going to say it. It makes us feel like the, the Junior Avengers? What are they called? It's like you got the sidekicks. When Timcast IRL hears from the fourth place, with all due respect to Vivek, fourth place candidate in the GOP primary, Christie's out, Burgum's out, all these other people dropped out, and Vivek is still polling, like 8% in some polls, and maybe even higher in others. I'm sure he's got his metrics. I mean, he's doing really well. He's got millions of followers. And so he says, I want to do a show with you, and we're going to counter CNN. I got to tell you, to me, to independents, to moderates, Vivek matters substantially more than Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. And when Vivek says, I'd like to do a show and talk with you guys, that's like, okay, wow, like here we are. We're playing ball. Look, they had the CNN town hall, and I'm watching all these Trump supporters. They're like, we're going to watch the CNN debate. And I'm like, why? Why give CNN your views? No, whatever, man. Like, nobody owes me anything. You don't got to watch Timcast IRL. I get it. And maybe it's because they didn't want to give Vivek the attention. But here we are as new media hosting a town hall podcast event with one of the people running in the primary. There's a lot of questions you may have, and you should listen to what Vivek says, especially if you don't like him. And people chose to listen to Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis instead. Fair point. And I think we have to, look, if you don't watch Timcast IRL, that's fine. I don't care. You don't owe me anything. But what I'm saying is, I dream of a time, I mean this sincerely, I'll just say it. We crushed CNN in the key demographic ratings already. It is kind of a crazy feeling. And it's crazy because it's not like we're getting millions of views. We're getting hundreds of thousands. CNN used to get millions. They don't anymore. Now it's like some of their primetime shows get 70,000 views in the key demo, and we get like 500 to 600,000 within like a day. That's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. They get a lot of views in the 60-plus demographic, which I'm not saying it to be disrespectful. These are people who watch cable TV. But look, man, Vivek comes out and says, I will go on all the podcasts, all the internet shows. He's priming himself perfectly for the next generation. Donald Trump did not do the same thing. It is what it is. It is what it is. We have Donald Trump Jr., massive personality, obviously campaigning for his dad. But it's like we get to have Vivek on the show. We don't get to have Donald Trump on the show. He goes on Fox News instead. What can I say? What can I say? And he gets substantially more viewers. We're not there yet. So what I see here is maybe we are the junior Avengers, okay? I wish that wasn't the case. I mean, we're in our 30s. Many of you in your late 20s, early 30s. And some of you are older as well. But that's it. Maybe in 10, 20 years, we will have displaced all these big shows and these big networks. And that means right now, if you want to understand why Vivek is getting attention from people who are in their 30s, millennials, who are Trump supporters or more libertarian, it's because this is the space we communicate in. And Vivek approached that. I don't think that he's paying. I don't know who he's paying. He's not paying us. I know that the people that, like Luke Rutkowski, for instance, is not getting paid by them. In fact, some of the people who came out to come on this show end up talking to the campaign. But who do we have? Who do we have on the show last week? Look, I'll be honest. We had Vivek on Wednesday, and then we had Trump Jr. and Laura Loomer. I like Trump. I think Trump's the play right now, and I think there's a lot to break down as to why. Let's talk about Vivek. I'm going to give him some defense. I'm going to defend Vivek. Axios says Vivek Ramaswamy sells $33 million of Roivant, is it Roivant? I don't know how to pronounce it. Roivant stock to boost campaign. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, to all the Trump supporters, to people like Cat and stuff, you got to be careful how you play this game. They're saying, and I'm saying this sincerely, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm saying let's together be careful how we do this. There's, people are saying don't fall for his Barack Obama 2.0. I'm like, guys, take it for what it is, okay? We need young, energetic backbench. I'll take that. They say, Vivek, where's he getting his funding, blah, blah, blah. Well, he has a bunch of stock in a company he built, and he sold a bunch of his stock. You're not going to come to me and say Donald Trump lost net worth running for president. Vivek Ramaswamy is selling off stock in his company to fund this campaign. What more can be said? Don't make, what is it saying? Don't make the good the enemy of the perfect or whatever. Here's what I want to say. I don't like Ron DeSantis. I really, really, really don't like him. I am so over Ron DeSantis. There are 2 viral videos. One is of this guy, Matt Kim, posting how he got kicked out. He never made a video about him. He never caused a problem. He never trolled him. He says he wants to be president. What a joke. This guy's like, I just went into the building and they kicked me out. He says he tried to go to a neighboring restaurant. He said, no, it's the property is all owned by this company. Get out. He's like, I'm just going to eat food. I'm not even at the event anymore. There's a guy in a wheelchair, and they come up and say, time to go. And he's like, what? Why? Dude, the Ron DeSantis campaign is a joke. They kicked out Laura Loomer. Nikki Haley did as well. Vivek Ramaswamy does not. He says no scripted questions. He's playing it very correct. He's navigating this very intelligently. Now, here's what you got to watch out for. Don't let Vivek's campaign pull a DeSantis on Trump. It's like, what does that even mean? No, let me break it down. So you get these DeSantis campaigners, right? And, a year and a half ago, Ron DeSantis was leading in the prediction markets. Isn't that insane? It's just crazy for me to see that Ron DeSantis was the favorite. Look at that. I don't think we. So in the Real Clear Politics betting odds, Ron DeSantis was above Trump like 2-1. Nuts. And he burned it all to the ground. Well, I'll tell you what happened. You got these Ron DeSantis supporters on social media that are vile. Just the most vile people. At this point, I think it's common knowledge. So many high-profile individuals who are like moderate and not, in the bag for just DeSantis or Trump or whatever, have been like, what is up with these people? They're terrible. And look where he sunk. Now, the predicted market has Ron DeSantis in 4th place behind Vivek Ramaswamy. That's really interesting. When I see these Trump supporters start attacking high-profile personalities, the first thing I thought, I was talking about this last night, we were having dinner, and I was like, I'm going to talk to the Trump people. Guys, we cannot fall into that trap. That's a trap. Because here's what happens. Vivek starts courting high-profile podcasters and personalities. He generates a lot of attention, has a lot of supporters. And what's his response to Donald Trump? I'm not going to attack the man. He's the greatest president of our generation. I just think they're going to try and do whatever they can to take him out. And that means it's going to be Nikki Haley and Ron, so I have to be here. He's right. And he's refusing to attack Trump. And he's not asking anybody to do that as well. In fact, he's taken this approach, which is, I'm telling you guys, Vivek is brilliant. You don't have to accept that as you have to like the guy, but don't fall for this. And I'm not saying Vivek's tricking, I'm saying don't fall into this. Vivek has a picture of a bunch of people wearing shirts that say, save Trump, vote Vivek. This guy knows what he's doing. I don't know if he coordinated that or whatever. First, I got to be honest, I think it's cringe. I'm just like, save Trump, vote Vivek. Ugh. But I understand what he's doing. He's trying to make it appear to the average person that Trump is weak. Not that he's saying Trump is weak and incapable. He's saying that Trump is in a weakened state at war that he can't win. It is a master play to try and win the primary. Now, I don't think Vivek is wrong about what the deep state is planning to do to Donald Trump because they're already doing it in plain sight. I don't see how they stop. And I think a lot of people agree. Trump may end up having to run as an independent. Who knows? Even if he goes to prison, I don't see that stopping Trump from running for sure, but it's going to be a wild, wild year. But here's the mistake. Vivek is playing I'm a really nice guy. I love and respect Donald Trump. It's just so tough how they're coming after him like this, and we have no choice but to step up. He's playing hey, look, I'm just a good guy trying to do the right thing. Regular people are going to see that, and they're going to say, okay, I get it. Then you've got Trump people coming out and saying you're paid shills, you're grifters, you're liars. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Don't fall for this. I'm gonna talk to the we got Trump people coming. I'm gonna say, guys, the DeSantis people started attacking me. They started attacking. I'm not gonna bring other people up into this, but there are some high-profile conservative personalities who and libertarians started getting attacked by DeSantis people, and they don't know why. And what happened? DeSantis collapses. Because the prominent personalities and influencers in digital spaces get pissed off and are just sick of Ron. His failure to reel in his campaign staff, absolute failures. And they're like, you know what, this guy can't manage a campaign. It's trash. Now, one of the best assets for Donald Trump, his very prominent supporters who went after the DeSantis campaign and triggered them and made them go insane, are going to have this pulled on them if they don't play it correctly. Vivek is endearing himself to prominent personalities. It is working for him. Donald Trump supporters are attacking those personalities for having interviewed and worked with Vivek. What do you think happens then? When you get someone with 1 million followers who is like, I like this Vivek guy, let's talk to him. And then all of a sudden, all the Trump people are insulting him, calling him a grifter, saying you're a liar, and he's like, I didn't even do anything. The same thing that happened with the DeSantis campaign. And I've been saying this for some time. The DeSantis campaign appears to want to lose. They want to lose. Why are you attacking your potential supporters when you should be trying to court them? Donald Trump calling Vivek not MAGA, I give it a B minus C plus in terms of its play. Here's what I think Donald Trump should have said. Donald Trump should have made a statement. Vivek Ramaswamy, an up-and-coming young star. What an incredible guy. I truly appreciate his support, and I'm looking forward to seeing things from him in the future. Now, he is correct. The deep state will stop at nothing. But I tell you this, my friends, now is not the time to ask for help. Now is the time to take a stand for yourself and for our movement. And while I understand Vivek's concerns, just know this. You stand alongside me with your vote, and we will win, and there is no saving being needed. Don't take the negative approach of attacking Vivek. Trump should take the approach of, a vote for Vivek may seem logical, and I can understand where he's coming from. But before we get to that point, I ask you, stand side by side with me on the front lines, and we will not lose. That's the master play. Playing the, Vivek's a snake and these people are bad is going to put you in the boat DeSantis was put in. It's going to split the influence base, and it's going to cause some net negative. Don't fall for that. Not to mention this. The reason why I say it's also the master play is, guys, let's not play this game where we're like, Vivek Ramaswamy is a shill and he's just trying to steal MAGA and blah, blah, blah. Like, calm down. You're allowed to think that if you want to think that, fine. Don't take my word for it. I don't know. I'm just some dude on the internet complaining. But let me tell you, Donald Trump's got one term. It's a second term. We want him to hit it. I want him to hit it. And after that, who do we got? Vivek is good. And people are saying things like, yeah, but he's a shill. He's lying. Bro, you mean to tell me you believe we convinced the deep state establishment to put forth a guy calling for the abolition of the ATF, and that's a defeat? I'll take it. I don't believe it. I think Nikki Haley is their play. And Ron DeSantis is their weaker play. And Vivek is a thorn in their side. And after Donald Trump finishes out this term, Vivek is doing wonderfully. I'll wrap it up by saying this. Donald Trump's foreign policy is proof in the pudding. Okay? Vivek doesn't have that. You come to me and say, but why should I support support Trump over Vivek? And I'm like, because Donald Trump was president. Donald Trump he has proven to us what he will do foreign policy-wise. It is a net positive. It's not perfect. I think he'll do a better job this time around. You say he hired bad people. You're right. Trump did hire bad people. And this is an argument against Vivek. I'm sorry. When Donald Trump said he was going to come in and drain the swamp, he was inexperienced in politics. We liked the guy, he won. And then he hired bad people. This is why I'm saying Trump can finish out what should be his second term, what should have been second term already. He can get that last term in. He can do the job he was meant to do with the experience. And I think there's a strong possibility, as smart as Vivek may be, if we were to vote for him now, let's say he just won, I think it'd be fantastic. I like the guy. But I think then the first 2 years are him learning the ropes. And we have an opportunity right now to get Trump in, get better foreign policy, better border policy, better jobs and economic policy, better military spending policy, better tax policy, just across the board. And there's your pitch. Let's not go to war, man. I'm just thinking long term. I'm like, dude, guys, after Donald Trump finishes out this term, does all the things we hope to do, let's be as optimistic as possible. Who's our next option? It's not Ron DeSantis, and it's not Nikki Haley. Vivek's going to be 42. It's a good spot to be in. He'll have more experience campaigning. Don't turn the guy. Let's not burn everything down. Now I will finalize this all. Wrap this morning segment up by saying, yo, guys, it's a primary. They're going to fight with each other. And this is not even the most crazy, like the craziest of primary fighting we've ever seen. Saying he's not MAGA and don't be duped is Trump he's pulling his punches. He's pulling his punches. Trump could go way harder on Vivek, and we all know it. They're going to play. They're going to go after each other in the way they go after each other. And then Trump's going to win. He is. We'll see what happens in the general election. But I think once this all wraps up, so long as Vivek plays the cards right and he doesn't go crazy like DeSantis' campaign, I think we could end up with seeing, I don't think it'll be Vivek as VP, but I think 2028 Vivek could end up in a strong position. I have some general ideas, I think, who the VP is going to be, but we really don't know. But I'll tell you what, my friends, we're just getting started. It is caucus day. I'll leave it there. Next segment is coming up at 1 p.m. Eastern on this channel, because I'm in Iowa, so I say Eastern. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.